I am super excited to be making this video. Here at WhaleSync, we've been using AI for a while, and on the engineering and dev side, there's been a lot of great tools, but on the content side, it's been a little bit more of a struggle because with code, you can just ask Claude Code to do something, it does it, and then it runs its code, it checks the output. But with content, there's way more decision making and judgment involved in what's actually good, what's not. And the workflow just isn't there. The tooling just isn't there. So we built something internally, and then we realized that we liked it so much that we wanted to make it available to everyone else. That tool is called Scratch. You can check out the website scratch.md today. You can schedule a call with us or download it and just start playing around with it yourself. Anyway, so we want to start introducing this to people, but what better way to introduce Scratch than to show you using Scratch to introduce itself. This is our current WhaleSync website. It's hosted on Webflow. You can check it out today, whalesync.com. And one of the things that we want to do is go in and add relevant internal links to pages that make sense to go with Scratch. Here's an example, 5 AI workflows for content housekeeping. This just makes perfect sense to put Scratch in here because of what Scratch is and what does. So if you're familiar with Webflow, you know the admin panel sort of looks like this, and you can come into your CMS here and we can find blog posts. And if I wanted to go through and edit these, I can click through one at a time, find stuff, and then go through this sort of UI here and then make some edits and publish it. But that's the old way of doing things. Some people would say, well, why don't you connect to the MCP server? But that doesn't give me the review and publishing that I need to be confident that I'm putting out content that I actually care about. What we're going to do instead is use Scratch. Now, I've already connected our Webflow site to Scratch. This is a desktop app on my laptop, and you can see in here we have files of the various blog posts already here. All of the content is here. And this is exactly what Webflow is storing in the database itself. What I've done is I've exported our GA4 data for the WhaleSync site. And I'm just going to ask Claude to add some relevant internal links to the top 3 to 5 pages, just so you can see how this works. And then we can do a bigger batch run with everything else. So I will drag that, add that to the chat. I've already written the prompt here, and we'll kick it off and see what happens. Now, just to explain a bit while this is going, like I said, Scratch is a desktop app. So this is a application that's running on my laptop. And what I have here is Scratch has pulled everything from the site itself, so everything in the CMS collections, and saved it as files on the computer. Now, the reason it's stored as files is because that's what AI works best with, and it gives AI the ability to use all of these scripts and CLI tools that it's really, really great at. Now, once it starts making edits to the files, those will start showing up here in Scratch, and we'll be able to review the changes. And we can be reviewing the changes while Claude continues working. I generally have 3 or 4 different Claude chats going, so they can all be working either on different activities in the same Webflow site, or also this connects to WordPress, Shopify, HubSpot, Intercom, a bunch of other tools that we use. So it looks like Claude's going to have a couple of questions. Your recommended is fine. Inline contextual only, definitely. Like I said, if you want to leverage up your time, I could have 3, 4, 5, as many Claude sessions as I wanted. I could also have Codex working on this at the same time, Cursor. It doesn't really matter. It's just files on the computer as far as the AI agents are concerned. I care a lot about what the AI is putting out. So I really prefer to review everything and at least get a good idea of pattern matching. Did it get the idea right? And I can show you just as an example here as I'm looking at this. I see that there's a difference in how some of these names are, and I don't think that that's super great. So I think we want to update some of those. So let me just create another chat here quick and have it get started on that. All right, and then let's hop back over to the other chat, see how it's doing. Okay, all right, we've got our first edit in here, so we can see this is the file or blog post that's been edited. And this is where the edit was in the body. If you want to condense this down to just the stuff that needs review, we can hit that. Okay, so there we can see we've got 5 so far. And you can expand this when it's a smaller edit, like to titles. This is a great view. But if you're looking at the full records, it can be helpful to go into record view, because then we can expand down. And this is the absolute best, amazing, epic, excellent thing about this. I cannot overstate this enough. You can see how long this body content is for this post. If I were manually trying to find what AI edited in here, it would be extremely time consuming and would pretty much negate the benefits of having AI help me out. But what Scratch does is it's going to show me exactly where the edits were made. So we can see right here. And when you're updating hundreds of listings at once, Scratch, let's say I make the edits while you review every change before it goes live. Perfect. I love that. That's so good. I scroll down. There are no other changes to this. So I can come back up to the top and accept this. So long, it would be an absolute nightmare. Okay, so that one is accepted. So let's go to the next one. Same thing here. Scroll till we find changes. And if there's stuff deleted from this side, it'll show up as red as well, but there shouldn't be any deletes in this specific request. We'll probably see some deletes in the title edits. All right, and whichever you choose, once in the content book with AI, you can review every change the diff before it publishes. Perfect, love it. Nothing else in there. Great, collapse that. Let's approve that one. Next one here. All right, same thing. Now, I guess I could make sure that it's still running in the background here. Each was verified. Yeah, do another batch, your choice. And then let's check the blog title normalization. Let's do title case and standardized separators is what I was thinking. All right, so we've got that getting started. Now I'm gonna go back to reviewing. So let's see what we've got in here. And once the system started doing your own content, product page, it's actually put an M dash in here. I don't want M dashes in my content. Create a validator to make. There are no M dashes or M dash HTML. All right, so I'm gonna have Claude actually make a script that Scratch will automatically run to make sure that we don't have any of those M dashes again. That way Claude will see the error and can fix those and I don't have to. It's just gonna save me more time. So once that script is created for this, then I'll never have to review that again. And anything that Claude can write in Python can become a validator. So if there are words that you don't want to see or lengths that you want or case that you want for titles or whatever, you can create validators for that. What else do we have here? Another one. And once your content is connected, Scratch the edge before it publishes. I think that's pretty good. I might need to see that one in context, but we'll look at the published site when it's done. When the AI touches every post at once. Yeah, let's, that one makes sense to me. Bulk edit SEO metadata. That's a great post for putting a Scratch reference in. Excellent, love that. And yeah, that one's okay. That one's not great. I'm actually gonna reject that one. Sharing content across the page, perfect. That's an excellent, relevant link there. We're gonna approve that one. All right, another one here. Let's see, where is this? There we go. We also added the content with AI and we've got 8 approved things here. So 10 best directory sites in 2025. 8 best headless CMS options for content marketers in 2025. All right, so we just got the batch edit in from the titles one. So let's see what it says here. 5 files with curly were skipped. The token didn't match. Wrong path of a run. And validators. That one is still working on figuring out how the validators work. Ooh, 47. Don't do it in bulk. Make the edits contextually one by one. So I just found a bunch of other M dashes in the content from before, and AI has made me not like M dashes, so I'm going to just get rid of those. All right, let's take a look at these titles and see how those go. So, oh wow, 153. Nice. If we do, let's try some other views. There's a few other views here. When it's something like titles, pricing, meta descriptions, sometimes it's helpful to just see it this way. Scratch gives you a bunch of options, and if there's a view that you'd like that we don't have yet, just let us know. We're constantly updating this. All right, 10 best directory websites, 2025. All right, so it went from sentence case to title case. Same thing here. I can be approving these, but for something really bulk like this, I'm just gonna go down and reject ones I don't like, and then bulk approve the whole thing. So one of the things you'll notice if you're following along with me still is that your eyes can actually check something like, is this the same but just in this case very quickly when the before and after is right next to each other. You can imagine if this was just a bunch of changed files or a bunch of updates made on the website, it'd be really difficult to go through and make sure that it did what you actually asked it to do. And maybe more importantly, if it didn't do what you asked it to do, you wouldn't have a way to undo that. So this is just a much, much safer and more efficient way to go through and do this. Okay, I am now going to approve 153, I think, edits that AI made to 153 different files like that, all at once. So let's go ahead and publish what we've got now. So 8 records contain validation problems that may prevent them from publishing. Let's view those. Here we go. That is showing that there is most likely there is an M dash in here. There we go. Content.raw contains an M dash. Perfect. So we could hold off and wait for those edits to come through, but we're going to actually go ahead and publish because I know what they are. So we will ignore and continue. Like I said, super great feature. You can add those for anything that you care about, and those just automatically get caught and flagged for you. So if you don't like AI saying conclusion, for example, then you can add a negative word list, put whatever words you don't want it saying in there. If AI tends to misspell your brand or other people's brands, you can put those in there. There's just countless great examples of how that works. Like I said, you can do character counts on titles, meta descriptions, yeah, bunch of different stuff. So this is publishing. This is still working through the M dashes, and it looks like we're done on. All right, let's check on the publishing, see how that's looking. I maybe shouldn't have done 170 whatever changes that was for a demo, but hey, you're getting the raw real deal. Boom, there we go. All right, all data published, close. Let's go take a look and see what our site looks like. Let me quick ask. There we go. So you can see a second ago, that was still sentence case, and now it's title case. And then let's find one of these that was edited here. Let's see. Descriptions. There it is. So here's the link that Scratch or Claude added using Scratch. So yada, yada, yada. And then down here, API best for developers, a middle path. Scratch lets AI rewrite meta descriptions in bulk and flags bad links before you review each change as a diff with no blind API rights. I'm going to stop the demo there. You saw what happened. Whale sync, full circle, pull the content from there onto the laptop, let Claude do whatever it wants to with the files, review every single edit here in Scratch, publish it back to the website. It's live on the website. Rinse and repeat. This also works with WordPress. It works with Codex, Cursor, whatever AI agent you like using. We've got Shopify, HubSpot, Notion, Airtable, a bunch of platforms. If there's a platform that you want that we don't have, just let us know. They're pretty straightforward to add. And yeah, like I said at the beginning, super excited to share this with you. We've been working on it for a while. It's really, really powerful, and can't wait to see what sort of ideas you come up with for how to use this.